day guys, nice to have you here. I get a lot of questions from you and recommendations related with Argus. Some of the recommendations were good, but a lot of them, not so much.
Sorry bro.
Please don't get it the wrong way though. I love you guys, but I can't intentionally say yes to something that isn't factual. Which is why I got inspired to create this video. Before we continue though, I want to give my shoutouts to Leco Knight Gaming, and he too hosts a YouTube channel, so make sure to give him some love. Let's kick things off with laning. I agree Argus is viable on the XP lane, but this is not the best lane for him at all. In my opinion, the best lane for him is the gold lane. While I agree, jungler Argus is also okay, but there are so many better options for the jungler role. The reason why he's so good in the gold lane is not only because of the bonus gold he earns, but because of the matchup. Marksmen are usually played in the gold lane, and Argus has a dominating advantage against most, if not all, marksmen. He can easily close the gap by using his first skill, deal tremendous damage, and easily freeze the lane. Now, maybe you're asking, what if the support or tank roamer decides to help or leash the marksman? Well, that is still an advantage for your team. Well, it's true that it'll be more challenging for you to take the marksman down with the support around, but that gives your teammates advantage over the other lanes. Since their support is too busy leashing or assisting the marksman, the enemy team's vision control will be sacrificed. This also means the mid and XP lane will not have the support they need. Now, if you really want to play Argus on the XP lane, sure, do it.
Do it.
It's your life after all. But keep in mind that most heroes played there have excellent early game advantage. A lot of them have good HP sustain as well. This means if you fight a hero on the XP lane with such qualities, you won't have true advantage. Either you'll be able to play on equal ground, or worse, you will lose horribly. Unless of course the opposing XP laner is a donut, just like this Sylvana right here. Then yeah, by all means you will own the XP lane. Now let's talk about freezing. Freezing is the act of not attacking the minions aggressively and instead only attack for last hits. The purpose of this is to make the opposing minions clear or kill your allied minions while you keep the enemy heroes away from the area where they will gain experience and gold. Mastering lane freezing and zoning is a must-have ability or skill. While some do it openly on the lane, I highly suggest doing it while in the bushes. This creates tension for the enemy. It makes them hesitate more since they don't have visibility. This also discourages ganks since you are not frequently visible on the minimap. You need to hide in the bush and use your first skill's range to your advantage. And once you have the chance, attack in order to drive away the enemy hero. This is one of the reasons why Argus is best played on the gold lane. If you do this technique on tougher heroes with high early game burst damage, you might see yourself on the bad side of the duel instead. But if you do it on the gold lane against a squishier marksman, the odds of them gaining an advantage over Argus is extremely low. Next is automation. People always claim they have the best fixed build that can be played against any hero in any lineup. Sadly, there's no such thing. There are, however, good builds and bad builds. A good build is something that adheres to the needs of the match by analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of the enemy team. For instance, you were matched with heroes that have high HP pool and HP sustain incorporated in their builds, such as Yu Zhong as the XP laner and Bakito as their jungler. This makes it wiser for you to get DHS or Demon Hunter Sword early, either as your second or third item. Having Malefic Roar is also a good choice since such heroes are normally built with more defensive items. On the other hand, if you're against heroes such as Amon or Amon on the XP lane and Nate as a jungler, it's much wiser to go with a burst critical build since those two heroes doesn't really have very high defenses. Their HP pool is quite low as well. If the enemy team's lineup has great dominance in terms of HP regeneration, get Sea Halberd with Demon Hunter Sword early. Both of these items greatly impact the enemy's healing ability. Sea Halberd lowers HP regen by half, while DHS deals damage based on the current HP the enemy has. This item, in a sense, cancels out a portion of the enemy's HP regen. I'd love to go over all scenarios, but there are dozens if not hundreds of scenarios. At the end of the day, you must analyze the situation on your own. Besides, itemization should not just be based on the lineup, it should be based on the specific events or situation as well. For example, you're playing as Argus and you have a level of 6 with a gold earning of about 3,500, while one of the enemies is Yuzhong and he or she is playing badly, as in tremendously bad. That time, Yuzhong was only level 5 with a gold of 2,500. Then one of the enemies is a Gushan player with a level of 7 and a gold gain of roughly 4,000. Should you get items to defeat Gushan easier or get items to defeat Yuzhong easier? The answer is get items to defeat Gushan. At this point, since Yuzhong is playing horribly, it's not really a cause of concern. Gushan, on the other hand, is starting to snowball, and you must have a good response fast. Here's some tips to help you get ideal items. First things first, during the draft, start analyzing the enemy team's lineup and formulate an action plan on what items you might be getting during the game. This helps you save time and effort when choosing the right items. Once the game starts, make sure to freeze lanes in order for you to delay the opposing gold laner's progress. This will help your team lessen the chances of having enemies that will snowball. And then at the first minute and 30 seconds of the game, start checking the scoreboard every couple of minutes. This will help you find out who is playing well and who isn't. Knowing that will help you decide who to counter first and who to be least prioritized. Get the good battle spells. In my opinion, there's really no point in getting Execute for Argus. He's better with either Inspire, Purify, or Flicker. The damage output of Inspire is tremendously higher than Execute. It also complements Argus' skill set, which relies on his basic attacks. Not only that, it also provides a life skill. As for Purify and Flicker, it helps you get to your targets close in the event somebody uses a control skill on Argus after activating his ultimate. Keep in mind that Argus' ultimate only removes control effects, but once the ultimate has been activated, any other control effects will impact or affect Argus. Show yourself. Stop getting defensive items for Argus. With old Argus, sure, that's debatable, but with the revamped Argus, you should instead focus on damage items. If you need to become tankier, then invest on lifesteal, but never waste it on defensive items. The truth is, he doesn't gain so much advantage with defensive items. The logic on how to build Argus is either your items should give you bonus damage or it gives you bonus attack speed. That's it. Your ultimate is more than enough to improve your survivability. As long as you play Argus correctly by deciding when to dive and when not to at any given day, you should only have between 1 to 3 deaths. That's how good his ultimate is now because of its low cooldown. So really, it's not a necessity for you to get a defensive item. You're not helping yourself, you are just creating a weaker version of Argus. Unstoppable! Has been slain. Launch attack. So there you go, some tips on how to play Argus better. If you guys have anything else to add, do share your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, everyone. Peace.